What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Collective MMA channel. Today, we are here with episode 18 of Fight IQ. We are going to be covering Dana White's Contender Series Season 10, Week 3, going down this Tuesday. Without any further ado, let's jump right on into it. With the first fight of the night, we have Nick Galanti versus Carlos Petruzzella. Galanti minus 250 and Petruzzella plus 207. On the Galanti side, he's an okay striker, throws some leg kicks, basic combos, isn't super comfortable on the feet. He more so wants to, get his takedowns going and implement his grappling game. He's got some decent takedowns. He's a good grappler, likes to take the back. He's got a pretty good variety of takedowns. He does jump the guillotine, does have good top control, good transitions, good ground and pound, and also scrambles well. On the Petruzzella side, he's a decent striker, some basic combos, decent power. He likes to pressure. He's not the most defensively sound and can be a bit wild at times. He's down to brawl and trade in the pocket, kind of leaving his head up there to be hit. He does reverse pretty well. He's got some pretty good grappling also, good ground and pound, and he uses that to open up his sub opportunities. He'll start, raining down punches, hope that you give up your back, and then look to go for a submission from there. Doesn't have the best top control, is one thing I noticed with him, which could be an issue. In this one, I got to pick Galanti to get this one done either by sub or by TKO. I don't think either of these guys are super high level, though, and both are flawed fighters. Galanti is going to have the wrestling edge and should spend more time on top, winning minutes and threatening subs. The longer this fight plays out on the feet, the better it would be for Petruzzella, but I don't know if we'll be able to keep it there for long enough. I don't think either of these guys have that much success in the UFC level, but Galanti should be able to get the takedowns going and find a rear naked choke or TKO finish in this one. We will keep moving. Next up, we have Ronald Humphrey versus Alexis Miranda. Humphrey coming in at minus 950 and Miranda plus 637. On the Humphrey side, solid striker, throw some heavy kicks, leg kicks, and body kicks. Good pressure, mixes up his strikes and targets. He's got pretty good power, decent takedowns. He works back to the feet if he's taken down. He's very athletic. In one of his fights, his opponent took mount, and he just powered out of that. He's got good ground and pound, reversals, and he's a finisher. On the Miranda side, he's an all right striker, basic combos. He tends to back straight up when his opponents are throwing, which, isn't ideal. He does much better when he's the one moving forward, and I don't think he's going to get that here. He's not the most defensively sound. He does mix up his targets, and he's got a mainly boxing-focused attack. I like Humphrey here, and I like Humphrey by knockout. I think he's going to take the center of the octagon, and he's going to be the hammer in this one. He's going to stay in Miranda's face, making him uncomfortable and put it on him. I think Humphrey shows levels here and makes this one look relatively easy. He's got more power, more tools, and the grappling upside in this one. I really can't see how Miranda gets this one done outside of a perfect punch. I think Humphrey has potential to have a good amount of success in the UFC and get some nasty finishes. We'll keep moving. Next up, we have Sean Clancy Jr. versus Gary Balletto. Clancy Jr. coming in at minus 900 and Balletto Jr. at plus 613. On the Clancy Jr. side, he's a pretty good striker, good boxing combos, pretty good power. He's fast, athletic. He mixes up his strikes and targets. He's got pretty good takedown defense, decent takedowns, and he sets them up as well. He uses his strikes to set up his takedowns. Scrambles well. He's a back taker. He's got pretty good grappling and a good rear naked choke game. On the Balletto side, he's a decent striker, bit of a plotter, pressure, basic boxing combos and flurries. He works the jab, mixes up his targets. He has a high guard and tends to shell up. He has that sort of zombie style as well, just sort of walks forward, shells up. You land one, he wants to throw back. He's got okay grappling, decent cage push, decent back takes, not the best takedown defense, and he can get stuck on bottom position if he is taken down. I like Clancy in this one by finish. Clancy is by far the more technical striker here and has grappling upside. I do think he can land his combos and strikes on Balletto, while Balletto, walks forward with that zombie style. If Clancy does start to get uncomfortable on the feet with the pressure, I do think he can level change and take this fight to the floor where he can have success, whether that's, ground and pound or submission. I'm not sure what Clancy's ceiling is in the UFC, but I do think he has the skills and athleticism to get this one done by sub or knockout. Yeah, and Clancy, he fought a lot in Cage Warriors, and there's been some good prospects coming out of that promotion. It tends to be kind of hit or miss, though. Some of these guys, look good in Cage Warriors, come over to the UFC, and it doesn't really translate or pan out for them. And, Balletto, he's been doing bare knuckle fights, and, some of that translates to MMA, but not all of it. But yeah, I think Clancy finds a way to get this one done either by TKO or submission. Next up, we have Mario Piazzon versus Guilherme Uriel. Piazzon coming in at plus 157 and Guilherme Uriel at minus 180. On the Piazzon side, he's an okay striker. He's willing to trade and brawl in the pocket. He is on the lower volume side, doesn't really tend to throw a whole heck of a lot. He throws some teep kicks, not the most defensively sound. He keeps his hands quite low. He's got decent power. He can get stuck against the cage. He's got okay grappling, and he has a decent cage push. On the Uriel side, he's a pretty good striker. He'll throw some teep and leg kicks. He's also willing to trade in the pocket. He's got pretty good power, pretty good volume, some basic combos. He puts punches and kicks together. Pretty good grappling, okay takedowns of his own, decent ground and pound. He is quite dangerous early, but slows as the fight goes on. Seems like he's got a couple minutes in round one of his full force, but then after that, he tends to fade as the fight goes on. I got to pick Uriel in this one by finish. I don't think he's going to have the highest ceiling in the UFC, but I don't think Piazzon has much of a ceiling in all honesty. Uriel did fight Josh Hockett on the Contender series and, got grappled a lot and, didn't have a whole lot of success in that one. But this is a totally different matchup, and Piazzon is nowhere near the level of Josh Hockett, in my opinion. Piazzon is quite hittable and has been quite hittable against a fairly low level of competition. Uriel likely finds a finish early in round one in this one, is my prediction. Next up, moving on to the main event, we have Bellemere versus Alex Apodaca. Bellemere is coming in at minus 4,000. Yes, that is correct. Minus 4,000. And Apodaca at plus 1,450. On the Mir side, decent striker. Some basic combos. Throws the good one too. Works the jab. Pretty good volume. And she likes to pressure. She also uses the kicks to the knee or the oblique kicks, which are good. Pretty good takedowns, and she has a variety of them. Good transitions. Good top control, solid grappling, and a solid submission arsenal. On the Apodaca side, decent striker. I do think she is going to be technically the better striker in this one, but, we'll see how it plays out with Mir's pressure. Apodaca puts her punches and kicks together, got some long straights. She also likes to pressure. She's got some decent grappling, a decent cage push, decent clinch knees and dirty boxing, decent takedown defense, decent top control, and she is also a back taker. Apodaca, her striking looks pretty good, but oftentimes, I don't know, it doesn't seem like she's landing with a whole lot of pop on either her punches and her kicks. Also tends to just kind of throw up, single kicks every now and then as well, which doesn't seem to have a whole lot of intent behind them. I got to pick Mir by finishing this one. Apodaca is going to have a slight edge on the feet, with more weapons. She uses kicks, whereas Mir, outside of the kicks to the knee, she doesn't kick a whole heck of a lot. It's mainly, boxing, pressure boxing, focus attack. I think Mir will be able to pressure in this one, have success doing so, throwing the 1-2s, using those stomps to the knee. And also the threat of Mir's takedown will open up her striking as well. Mir should be able to get this fight to the mat when she chooses and work her grappling game from there. Apodaca isn't a slouch by any means, but Mir is a very solid grappler and a grappling specialist. And I think she shows levels here and finds a way to get the TKO or submission finish. A lot of big favorites on this Contender Series card. Be careful. As we saw last week, a lot of big upsets. But yeah, this week, like I said, Humphrey is a big favorite. Clancy Jr. is a big favorite. Mir is a big favorite. You got the Galanti Petruzzella fight and the heavyweight fight that are the two ones that are, reasonably more aligned. So keep that in mind. Yeah, we'll wait to see what the props look like when they come out tomorrow. There'll be a few, knockout props that might look interesting or unders that could look interesting. So we'll have to see what those props look like when they come out tomorrow. So thank you guys for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like, hit that subscribe. Leave me a comment. Let me know what your picks are for week 3 of Contender Series, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.